Can't have the hat fucked up. Yeah. It's a good hat. It's a good hat for playing killer. So, Paladins is down for 24 hours. I was actually going to put out 2 videos because I'm behind on my videos with me being sick for so long. So, I was going to do Pip and Ruckus today. But with Paladins being down for 24 hours, which I'm really not happy about. Especially because I woke up at 4 this morning. And I'm like, okay, Paladins probably won't go under server maintenance till like, I don't know, 8 o'clock. And I got up for 8 o'clock. And Paladin servers went down at 5. So I screwed myself over. And they're down until 5 tomorrow, which I have to work tomorrow, which means I'm not going to find out what the fuck they did until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, probably. Maybe later than that. However, today I want to talk about Legion. Now, Legion has not come out, and I think that's important to note. Also, I want to address the fact that if you have played against me as killer the past few days, I have not been trying to kill or knock down anybody, because literally every time I actually play killer seriously, I get accused of camping in situations where I'm not. So I've told myself if I want to play killer seriously right now, I have to literally put up a YouTube stream every time I'm actually playing killer seriously. So my next video is going to be a serious killer live stream. Just because I'm so sick and tired of people messaging me saying stop camping, stop camping, stop camping. But we're gonna go to kill your friends. And I don't have any friends with me today. So why am I doing this? Well, I want to talk about a bit about Legion. Now, I'm a bit stupid. I should have looked up on the computer what Legion's perks are. Because Legion's not in the game yet. But Legion gives me an excuse to talk about one of my least favorite abilities in the game. And people tell me that I am not a high-level survivor. Level 12 is not bad. It's not high level, it's mid-tier. You have to realize that pretty much rank 13 and below, you are low tier. If you are 12 to 7, you are mid-tier. And if you're 6 or up, you are high tier. Now, I play killer at a lot higher tier than my 17 rank would suggest. I just don't like playing killer. I routinely have games that are just 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. And let me tell you something, because I want you to know. There are very few characters that I play that I don't get 4-0s on. And if I'm playing them and not getting a 4-0, it is because I'm not playing it seriously. I'm either playing it to get a daily ritual done, which we're going to play Clown and Pig. We're going to do the 2 sacrifices and the 1 more minute on Chase with the Clown. This one, I'm letting you know right off the bat, I'm going to let people go. I just want to run around the map and chase them. And then on this one, I don't know. These are all relatively easy. We'll do those for the next stream. But I want to talk about Borrowed Time. Now, why do I talk about Borrowed Time? Where's Borrowed Time? Here we go. I absolutely hate Borrowed Time. Now, Borrowed Time on purple is not bad, because it's a 25-second bleed-out timer. But see, I don't have Borrowed Time on purple. And I run into a lot of people that don't have purple Borrowed Time. And Borrowed Time by itself is bad. See, here's why. So, when a killer decides to whack you over your pretty little head right here, after you're injured, when you've been unhooked, there's also a couple of caveats that I don't like as well, and I want to address those right now. I'm going to interrupt myself. When you are unhooking a survivor within the killer's terror radius, i.e., if you are making an unsafe save that there is no reason that you should be making, unless there's only 2 people left and he's camping, Borrowed Time fuels a camping killer. If you ever wonder why you get down so often, and you have Borrowed Time on your team, which is supposed to counter that, Borrowed Time does not help against camping killers. Borrowed Time makes them stronger. They don't have to do jack shit. They whack you, you'll bleed out on your own. It's a giant fuck you to whoever pulled you off the hook. It forces one of 2 things, or one of 3 things. Another survivor to heal you. Unless you're in Survive with Friends, good luck with that. You are not getting healed by a random survivor. Unless they are running an offering where they get blood points in the altruism category. That's about the only time you are going to get people granting bonus blood points for that. There's nothing here that I can run to show you. That sucks. But borrowed time is horrible. So now, you could have self-care. And now a lot of people have self-care. But I have a friend, who I will not name, who cannot stand self-care. Now don't get me wrong, he loves self-care. He doesn't like that everybody else has it. He doesn't like that the Shrine of Secrets exists. He thinks you should not be able to buy any of these perks whatsoever. You have to unlock and grind that character. I keep trying to tell him and explain, so help me out in the comments so I can refer him to the comments page. Iridescent shards were originally used to purchase teachable perks. That is the original existence of iridescent shards. They did not add customization items purchasable with iridescent shards or other characters purchasable with iridescent shards until later. Literally, iridescent shards were only there for the Shrine of Secrets. Now, he does not like anyone that purchased self-care from the Shrine of Secrets. He can't stand it. If you get Claudette up to 40, he'll respect you. But he also doesn't understand how, if you don't want to prestige a character, how to level your killer, how to level your survivor smartly. Back to Borrowed Time. Borrowed Time doesn't really work with self-care. Unless you have purple. See, Borrowed Time is a problem because it takes 16 seconds for you to heal yourself. That's with a med kit. With the self-care, you're looking at about 30 seconds. Your bleed out timer is 25 seconds. And that does not pause if you are in a chase. If you're in the middle of a fucking chase and Borrowed Time kicks in, you're dead. Because let me tell you what you have to do. You have to then literally stop and sit there and excuse me, and try and heal yourself with fucking self-care. I can make it! I can make it! Like Poncho from Predator. Nobody's gonna get that reference because it's too old for you youngsters. But, I can make it! I can make it! Try to sit there and self-care. And the killer's just standing there, letting you heal, watching, and laughing, on the off chance that you don't fail the skill check. Ah! And that you actually do successfully heal yourself. You're just gonna sit there and watch. Because you have to fill you have to fully heal yourself. It's not like you have to, you know, like, you just have to fill up the bar a certain amount. No, no. No, 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 my friend. You have to fully fucking heal yourself. Which means if you have a killer that's running Sloppy Butcher, and you're running self-care, and you fucked up a skill check, Borrowed Time Purple won't even help you. All the killer has to do is hit you one time, and he can stand there and watch and laugh. I almost wish killers had an emote in this, where they could emote and laugh at you. I really do. That's what Borrowed Time is. Like, anytime somebody pulls me off the hook, and I see Borrowed Time pop up, I'm done. Like, I will literally just sit there and take it. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead, kill me. I give up. Because Borrowed Time is useless. It instills a false sense of hope in you that it really shouldn't do. And now, I find that funny, because there is a perk, I want to see if I can find it, a perk called Hope. Where is Hope? Do I know it off the top of my head? Is that it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there is Hope. There's an effect called Hope. It doesn't even give you hope. Borrowed Time is shit because it gives you hope. It gives you, okay, if I could just get away from this chase and heal up. Now, this is why I don't like Borrowed Time, is I'm not the only one that has this happen. This is an incredibly common glitch. And it's a glitch or a bug or whatever the fuck it is, but it affects me every single fucking time. So, I don't consider it to be a bug or a glitch, because it affects my gameplay experience every time. The Borrowed Time timer and that bleed out timer is supposed to stop when you begin the healing process. It doesn't. So I'm literally sitting there. Let's say I'm Jake, and I'm running self-care. Now, I don't have self-care on Jake normally. Let's say it's kill your friends. And I have purple self-care on Jake, right? You know, purple self-care. That beautiful item right there. I love self-care. And yes, people still... I do want to address self-care a little bit. People say it is a bit of a crutch. But to be honest, I honestly don't think self-care should be something that requires a perk. I think you should be able to do it, and that they should maybe rework self-care. I think it should be a base part of your kit. The fact that you can't heal yourself, that you are reliant upon strangers to heal you, or bringing a med kit. And if you bring a med kit, it means you are not contributing to actually getting anything else in the game done. You're basically saying, I am bad, I need to heal myself because I'm going to get hit a lot. Self-care kind of removes that penalty. Lets you play a little bit more reckless. And that is good, because it makes playing Survivor more fun. Although I will admit, survivors do have the advantage. I don't care what people say. People tell me, killers have the advantage. Fuck you. Just fuck you. You obviously do not understand how killers work if you think they have the advantage. But borrowed time is bullshit. Because of that glitch. And people tell me, oh, it's a bug. It only affects you. It doesn't only affect me. I run into people all the time where it affects. I cannot stand borrowed time. Because of the fact that the timer has never, ever, for as long as I've been playing, paused when I'm fucking healing. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. But borrowed time is bullshit. It's a death sentence. And now, someone did explain to me that you are supposed to take a hit for that person so that they can get away. But if the whole purpose of borrowed time is that it basically gives you 15 seconds where you can take an extra hit, what is the purpose of it then? It's a fucking death. It's a useless perk then. Borrowed time is something that is designed for the survivor that is unhooked to be able to not get insta-downed and go back on the hook within 15 seconds. The problem is, if you take a hit for that person, then borrowed time is useless. Unless they come back and take a hit for you, which activates their borrowed time, bleed out timer, which means now you want to take a hit for them, but they already took a hit for you because you're already injured, and it's just a never-ending cycle of everybody taking hits for each other until somebody goes down again, and the cycle starts all over again, and the killer gets all these blood points, and no one's doing gens, which means no one's escaping, and if you only have one gen done, and there's no hatch in play, you are fucked. Which is why I hate borrowed time. It encourages over-altruism. And I see this a lot in Survivor play. Over-altruism is the biggest death sentence you can ever have. Like 3 to 4 people all trying to unhook each other. It's just the killer saying, I can just hit you, I'll let you run away because I can hit this person, I'll let you run away, I hit this person. Oh, that first guy came back, hit you, you're on a hook. Oh, you're coming to save him, hit you, you're down, put you on a hook. They got off the hook, just whack you, now put you on a hook. Oh, they got him off the hook again, whack you, bop on the hook, off the hook. That's exactly what it is. Whack 'em, whack 'em, whack 'em. It's whack-a-mole. Only you pop people on hooks all the time. Now, why am I talking about borrowed time so much and why I hate it? Well, because of killer. Now, the Legion is not very strong. Not looking at his perks or anything. You see, I don't level up my killers. I just play default killer. But damn, Freddy's gonna become really fucking viable. Freddy's gonna become viable if I have to go up against Legion. See, here's the problem with Legion. Legion's power applies a borrowed time effect. It applies a timer. Where what happens is, if you are not in a chase, this timer will wind down. And you have to perform an action called mend self. I need coffee. When you mend self, which I just did with coffee. When you mend yourself, it pauses the timer. Now, there's no skill checks. It is not a healing action. is not revealed on Nurse's call. It is not affected by Thanatophobia. It is not affected by Sloppy Butcher. It only, and you can do it yourself. You do not have to have a medkit for it. Another ally cannot do it. You specifically have to mend yourself. I don't remember how long the timer is. I think there are add-ons for the killer that increase or shorten the timer. But I think it's about 15 seconds. Now here's the problem. You have a killer that applies borrowed time to every single person that they hit in their killer power. Now this encourages a killer to run around and hit multiple people and spread that borrowed time effect around. But the problem is it doesn't encourage you to focus anyone. See, and this is the thing I get a lot of time, where people say camping is not a viable strategy. I'm still sick. Get over the coughing. Camping killers are a viable strategy for a lot of killers, because it allows you to play defensively. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. How do you punish a trapper that camps? Trappers don't need to camp. They have a power that lets them do that. You gen rush him. A camping killer counters overly altruistic survivors. You punish that with gen rushing. If the survivors don't want to gen rush and they want to run in and be overly altruistic, then the killer punishes you. I'm holding up these fingers for a reason. There are 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages to a camping killer. A camping killer can only apply pressure to one person at a time. The problem is, he leaves himself open by only basically protecting that one person. Because, in a sense, a camping killer is actually a good thing. He's actually protecting the person on the hook. They're not in chase. If you have a smart survivor that doesn't struggle, you have a hag laying traps around, and she's camping and patrolling like a shark around you on the hook. Okay? So, if the rest of my teammates get 3 gens done, and then they come get me off the hook, I'm protected. I'm golden. The hatch is in play. If I can break chase, I don't even have to heal up. I can just wait for the rest of my team to die and find the hatch. Or I can help gen rush. Or I can heal up and go be a nuisance for the killer. All of these things punish a camping killer. Camping killers punish overly altruistic survivors. Because, yes, you do want to help get people off of hooks and all that. But, it doesn't take 3 to 4 people to do that. It takes 1. If that one person can't get you off a hook, you're not going to get off the hook. Because here's the thing. Let's say you get hooked, right? Let's say one person goes to get somebody off a hook. I'll play it Freddy. And I go and get somebody off the hook, right? You know what the problem with that is? Or, I mean, I put somebody else on a hook, so I have 2 people on hooks. You know what the problem now is? I can't camp. It forces a killer to choose who they want to camp. It is the pig. The pig is the camping killer because of make your choice. Okay? You have to make your choice as to who you're gonna camp. You camp the first person you put on the hook, or the second. Whoever you don't camp is gonna get rescued, and you're still getting gen rushed, so it punishes you for camping. And don't tell me that you're gonna patrol the 2 locations, because if you have a decent team, then both people get off the hooks. And it really punishes a camping killer. Over-altruism hurts survivors more. And why am I talking about camping and over-altruism? Because the Legion has no counterplay. The Legion has no way to down somebody in his power. In a sense, his power is only good for boosting his mobility and for vaulting pallets, which is essentially the shape only a lot faster. And but instead of, what makes the shape so strong, even though he's, oh god, this video is going to cost me so much money, because John Carpenter's actually, you can't see it because the screen cuts it off, but John Carpenter's actually standing behind Mike Myers right there, just playing that song. That's why. Oh god, this video is going to cost me so much money. Anyways, the shape, if you look at his power, he gets increase lunge and movement speed in Evil Within 2. That's what Legion gets, basically, in Frenzy. But see, in Evil Within 3, I can one-shot you. But Legion doesn't have that. Legion, instead of being able to one-shot you, Legion applies Borrowed Time. But Borrowed Time that actually works. You see, this is the other problem. If it applied Borrowed Time as I have to suffer Borrowed Time, that would be one thing. But it doesn't. All you have to do is mend yourself, and the timer goes away. Not only that, and this is another problem that I see as well, it kind of makes the Legion want to play Nurse's Calling. If she's not playing Nurse's Calling, she's fucked. Where is Nurse's Calling? Is it on page 1? I don't think it is on page 1. Yeah, here we go. It's the first one. I'm a dumbass. It doesn't apply. It makes you want to run Nurse's Calling. So what happens if you have a Legion? They run around the map, they whack all 4 survivors. And all 4 of them get downed. They all say, fuck that bleed out timer, I don't give a shit, we're all going down at Blaze of Glory. So anybody that has Unbreakable or no Myther counters you. If you don't have Nurse's Calling, good luck finding all 4 of them. Even Tenacity works. Because they can recover faster and crawl around. Which means if one person does have Unbreakable or no Myther, then they just get up. And because you have to imagine that no Myther allows counterplay, you know what that means? You're gonna see a lot of no Myther David build gen rushes. You're gonna see a lot of people running this. You're gonna see no Myther, Unbreakable, Dead Hard. This is what I call my no Myther gen rush build. Right here. I'm always injured, I always have Dead Hard, and I always have Resilience. Which means I don't worry about medkits. I can bring a purple toolbox, and I can gen rush the fuck out of you. You hear that, killer? I'm coming to gen rush you. You get beefy, and you get tough. Because you don't give a shit if you get down, you have a teammate run over and distract him so he doesn't pick you up, and you get right off again. This is annoying as fuck. This is toxic as fuck. I get a free hit basically with Dead Hard instead of Borrowed Time. And that right there is part of the key. This killer makes David King more powerful. And people already say that David King has powerful perks, other than No Myther, which is meh. A lot of people don't like No Myther because it's, oh, it's a throw pick. You start the match injured. But if you know how to play around it, it's really good. I like playing around No Myther. But the point I want to really make is that the Legion should not be called the Legion. He should just be called Borrowed Time the Killer. Because he serves no other purpose than applying Borrowed Time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.